Hey guys, I'm Jonas. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to adjust the valves on your Yamaha Drive 1 or Drive 2. To get started, the first thing that you're going to want to do is remove this center body panel if you have a Drive 2. Now on the Drive 1s, you don't have a removable panel here, so you just have to do your best to get to things from up top. Now the first thing that we need to do to remove this body panel is just remove your forward reverse lever. Now these have a circlip on the back side of them that you can see the tab for that circlip sticking out. So you're just going to use a flathead screwdriver to push down on that circlip to pop it off of the bottom of that forward reverse lever. Then you just grab the forward reverse lever and pull forward on it, rocking back and forth to get it off. Then you'll need to remove the 8 plastic push pins that hold this body panel in place. Then we can remove this body panel. Before you start removing your valve cover, the first thing you want to do is use an air hose to blow off around your valve cover. Now you can use a pair of pliers to remove the breather hose from the air box. Then use a 10mm socket to remove the 4 bolts holding on your valve cover. You do want to pay attention to the 3 bolts that do have things underneath of them. The 2 bottom bolts are holding on your ignition coil, and the top passenger side bolt has a clamp on it for wire routing. You're also going to remove your spark plug using a 13/16 socket. To adjust our valves, we need to get the engine to top dead center on the compression stroke. Now the easiest way to rotate this engine over is to just grab your primary clutch and spin it in a counterclockwise rotation. So you're going to be rotating the clutch towards the front of the cart. Then you're going to use a Phillips head screwdriver to stick down the spark plug hole so that you can feel when that piston comes up to top dead center. Now be careful not to stick your screwdriver at an angle where it could get wedged into the cylinder. You want it straight up and down so the piston pushes up on it. Now as you're spinning this engine over and you feel that piston start to come up to the top, you'll feel it come up and then pause for a second and then start to roll back down. Now you're going to look where your valves are at right as the piston gets to that top dead center. Now you've got a 50-50 chance of being on the right stroke. So the valves are either going to be just starting to come off of the exhaust stroke and open the intake stroke. So the valves are going to be moving. As you're rolling it even just a little bit, you'll see those rocker arms moving. That's the wrong stroke. You want to roll the engine over one more time until you bring it up to top dead center and the valves don't move. So as you're coming up to top dead center, you want both valves to not be moving. Just be stationary. You can even rock that clutch back and forth a little bit and both valves are just staying closed. Then you know that you're on top dead center compression. Now using a 6/1000 feeler gauge, you need to try to insert the feeler gauge between the rocker arm and the top of the valve stem. If you can't get the feeler gauge in, or if the feeler gauge is very loose, you're going to need to loosen the 8mm jam nut on the valve adjuster. Then turn the top of the adjuster until you get a light drag on the feeler gauge. Then tighten the 8mm nut back down. A lot of times it will move as you're tightening the jam nut, so it may take you 2 or 3 tries until you get the right amount of drag on the feeler gauge. You should be able to insert the 6/1000 feeler gauge with a decent amount of drag. You should not be able to insert the 7/1000 feeler gauge. Then repeat this process for the other valve. Once you've got both valves adjusted, you can now reinstall your valve cover. Now you can reconnect your breather hose to the air box and install your new spark plug. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. If you got some good value out of this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.